let's talk about that situation that you have sole breadwinner in the family. And when I'm talking about family, I'm talking about an extended family, where you have one person who is literally taking care of the whole entire family. It has got some perks to it, but it has also got some disadvantages to it. One of the major disadvantages, obviously, is that when that person is incapacitated, I'm talking about whether they lose their job or they have a life-threatening injury that leaves them, incapacitated, what happens to the rest of the family? So you find that the rest of the family is plunged into destitution, poverty, and all that. So such kind of an approach has got its own weaknesses, and I guess the weaknesses outweigh let's say the advantages of having such kind of a situation. I know that in our societies here, it has turned into a culture in a way where you have got people depending on one person. Look, if we depend on one person, if a whole family depended on one person, it would mean that usually there is no other person that is elevated or trained equally to be able to bring out the same kind of support that the sole breadwinner is bringing out. And that kind of culture equally, promotes a tendency of people depending on one person and not, being groomed to equally, become providers equally. Also, you will notice that from such kind of an approach, right? If this is what's happening on a family level, you have got people who are just designated to take care of a whole lot of people who wait on that person, creating dependencies, isn't it? Others don't look out for anything else, they just look out to the breadwinner to make sure that he sorts or she sorts out all that. Take that same kind of thinking or that same kind of culture and bring it to the national level. So you'll get a nation of people who are always looking out for their own. Everybody's looking out for their own. Nobody is looking out for for the collective as a nation. This is where such kind of the root of what would be happening in society happens, right? People who have been brought up on a culture of depending on others to get things done for them. So bring it to the national level, you still have a nation of people who are, I want to get my own, and also waiting for others to do something for them. If you want to check out what is one of the major problems that our societies are facing, that is one of them. Look closely. Let's say you have got a culture where you get people, train people, give them a mindset that each and every one of them needs to produce. And if each and every one of them needs to produce, they can take care of others, isn't it? Using the same ethos, right? And take that ethos, isn't it? And throw it on the national level and say, well, each and every one of us, we need to be able to take care of our own. Those are some of foundational stuff that can really affect the nation. And obviously on a national level, if you have got a nation of people that are waiting for others to do things for them, you've got a nation of people who shift blame. They will blame others. They won't see that they themselves are the ones that are dragging the whole ship down. They are dead wood. Basically, they are just sucking the life force out of that one person who they have appointed to do things, or whom they have, they have just bequeathed their whole responsibility and given it to one person. And that is another way of looking at it, where you just totally bequeath your responsibility, your potential. Talk about potential. You bequeath your potential and leave it into the hands of one person. That is totally unnatural. It is unnatural, right? If one person is able to produce, then it means that it is true for everybody else. And some others, they have got, passive, potential itself. There's a potential that hasn't been explored, which has been left just the way it is. So think again. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say the culture of depending on one person is going to drag a nation down. The culture in Africa of depending on one person, others are sitting and not doing anything, are waiting for that person, is just detrimental. It is totally detrimental. It is not building, it is a life-sucking force that creates a slavery mentality. Others go out to slave for others who sit down and do nothing. I know this topic difficult to talk about, difficult to tackle, but if we need to get to go somewhere on this continent, if we need to get to go somewhere in this world, I know this is not only happening here in Africa, it is happening elsewhere equally. If we need to get to develop as human beings, we need to check out what is our ethos, where are we coming from. So with that, I want to say stay tuned. Let's talk about the hard things. Let's go deeper into some of the things that, we want to work on eggshells on. Cheers. See you next time.